Welcome to our continuing series, Questions and Answers for a World in Crisis, from the writings of Sri Aurobindo and the Mother. Today, Gratitude, Part 1. From the Mother. And then, when you find that the Divine, for some reason or other, does not respond to your devotion with the enthusiasm that you expect of him, you despair and fall into the three difficulties of which I spoke just now. Either the Divine is cruel. We have read a good many stories of the sort about devotees who abuse the Divine because he is not as kind and as near to them as before. He has withdrawn himself. Why have you abandoned me? You let me fall, O monster. Perhaps they do not dare to say that, but they think like that. Or otherwise they say, Oh, I must have committed such a serious blunder that I have been rejected. And they fall into despair. So the devotion must be accompanied by another movement, that is gratitude. The feeling of gratitude that the Divine exists, this gratefulness full of wonder that truly fills your heart with a supreme delight because the Divine exists, because there is something in the universe that is the Divine, and there is not merely the monstrosity that we see, because there is the Divine, because the Divine is there. And each time any least thing puts you in contact with this sublime reality of the Divine existence, your heart is filled with so intense and wonderful a delight, such gratefulness as is of all things the most delectable in taste. Nothing can give you a delight equal to that of gratitude. You hear a bird singing, you see a flower, you look at a child, you witness an act of generosity, you read a beautiful sentence, you stand before a sunset. It does not matter what the thing is. All on a sudden it comes upon you, a kind of emotion, but so deep, so intense, because the world manifests the Divine, because there is something behind the world, which is the Divine. So I consider that devotion without gratitude is wholly incomplete. Gratitude must also be there with it. Compassion and gratitude are essentially psychic virtues. They appear in the consciousness only when the psychic being takes part in active life. It is only when the psychic consciousness is all-powerful in the being that compassion for all that needs help in whatever domain, and gratitude for all that manifests the Divine presence and grace, in whatever form, are expressed in all their original and luminous purity, without mixing compassion with any trace of condescension, or gratitude with any sense of inferiority. Do what I explained to you yesterday. Make your brain work by studying regularly and systematically. Then, during the hours when you are not studying, your brain, having worked enough, will be able to rest, and it will be possible for you to concentrate in the depths of your heart and find there the psychic source. With it, you will become conscious both of gratitude and true happiness. one must have a great purity and a great intensity in one's self-giving, and that absolute trust in the supreme wisdom of the divine grace, that it knows better than we do what is good for us, and all that. Then, if one offers one's aspiration to it, truly gives it with enough intensity, the results are marvelous. But one must know how to see them, for when things are realized, most people find it absolutely natural. They don't even see why and how it has happened, and they tell themselves, yes, naturally, it had to be like that. So they lose the joy of gratitude. Because in the last analysis, if one can be filled with gratitude and thanksgiving for the divine grace, it puts the finishing touch. And at each step, one comes to see that things are exactly what they had to be, and the best that could be. Mother later ordered the list of the 12 powers or qualities in the following sequence: sincerity, humility, gratitude, perseverance, aspiration, receptivity, progress, courage, goodness, generosity, equanimity, peace. If one reads prayers and meditations of the Mother, one will truly know gratitude. Here is one of her prayers. O Supreme Reality, O supramental truth, this body is totally vibrant with an intense gratitude. Thou hast given to it, one after another, all the experiences that can lead it most certainly towards Thee. It has come to the point where identification with Thee is not merely the one thing desirable, but the only thing possible and natural. Periods of obscuration are frequent and common. Generally, it is enough to keep quiet without worrying, knowing that these are spiritual nights which alternate with the full light of the days. But to be able to remain in peace, you must keep in your heart gratitude towards the divine for all the help He gives. If gratitude also is veiled, the obscure periods last much longer. There is, however, a swift and effective remedy. It is to keep always burning in your heart the flame of purification, the aspiration for progress, the intensity, the ardour of consecration. This flame is kindled in the heart of all who are sincere. You must not let ingratitude cover it up with its ashes. The best way to express our gratitude to the divine is to feel simply happy. From Sri Aurobindo, Disciple. I saw in a vision a basket full of the flower gratitude. What does it symbolize? Sri Aurobindo. It is the gratitude to the divine that it indicates, which will come as the soul opens to the light and truth and gets the experience and the joy of union with the Mother. As to gratitude, it is a psychic feeling, and all that is psychic helps the soul to flower. And neither does the psychic love or the divine love despise a physical means of expression. wherever that is pure and right and possible. It does not depend upon that. It does not diminish, revolt, or go out like a snuffed candle when it is deprived of any such means. But when it can use it, it does so with joy and gratitude. There is a flowering shrub that grows in waste areas and untended fields, by waysides and on arid borders of unused land. The plant is strong and survives months of drought and blooms with lovely but fragile pink flowers that fade quickly when plucked. Mother has named the flower Gratitude. Mother comments on this flower. It is you who open all the closed doors and allow the saving grace to enter.